everybody, how are you doing today? So let's talk about London nightclubs. I do think that is probably one of my most requested videos in the last few months, and all of my friends who know me know that this is my favorite topic to talk about, so why haven't I made this video? I'm not quite sure, but here it is. Of course, if you follow my channel and my Instagram for a little while, you do know that my favorite music is kind of housey, techno-y, so my choice of nightclubs will be based on that. I'm going to try and include a few more commercial ones, I guess, but it's mainly clubs that are good for house and techno parties. So the first one that I have to mention in this series is Fabric. Fabric is very famous. You have probably heard of it, you've maybe been. I think Fabric has been around for about 15 years. It's probably one of the most famous nightclubs in the world, I want to say. I think in 2007 and 2008 it's won Best Nightclub in the World, so it's very well regarded and it has a very heavy history. So basically Fabric had to close at the end of 2016 because there was a lot of drug misuse and actually quite some horrible accidents happened, and the kind of house music and London techno scene was quite sad because it was around for so long and people really loved it, but they just had to change something about their security, and they are back and they have done it, and that is one of the reasons why I recommend it today, because since the changes, Fabric is very different and very safe and a lot of fun. So you do have to get past the security, and that is almost like entering prison, so it will take you quite a long time, but do trust me, when you're inside, the wait and the search and all of this is totally worth it, because the people inside are there for the music. It's safe, it's clean, and the sound is out of this world, which is probably why it's won so many awards, or at least, you know, it's won to be best nightclub in the world for so many times. The DJs are world class, and like I said, the people make all the difference. So now you really feel safe inside, which is fantastic. And yeah, the sound just kind of blows my mind every time. It's pricey, drinks are very pricey and tickets are as well. So do not go there every weekend, but if you're planning a really special, top quality night out in London to listen to some good house music, I recommend Fabric. Along the lines of good house music and new venues and the whole talk about closing and opening, there is another one I do want to mention, and that is Printworks. If you know the scene, you're probably not surprised. I have to be honest, I've not actually been, but I'm recommending it anyway based on all my friends' recommendations. So Printworks opened when Fabric closed, and everyone thought, is it gonna be the new Fabric? Well, Fabric is back open now, so you know, it's not gonna be the new Fabric, but it's still top quality and it's very different to a lot of things you have seen before, I assume. So Printworks used to be an old warehouse, and now they've converted it, as the name kind of suggests. And what makes it very special is the layout. So it's not a kind of square or rectangular room. It's a room that is incredibly long. I don't actually know how long, but I would assume maybe 100 to 200 meters long, and very, very narrow. And if you can imagine that a long, narrow room, of course, allows on the ceiling and a world-class light show, basically. So all my friends have told me it's worth going for the sound and the DJs and the very, very special events, but most of all it's worth going for the light show, because it happens on the ceiling above the kind of 200-meter long thin crowd, and I have not seen anything like this before, so I'm very excited. I've signed up, or I've bought tickets for 2 events in April, and yeah, I can't wait. Again, quite pricey, but again, very special events, so don't go there all the time, go there for a very special night out with your friends, and yeah, experience the newest venue in London. And I also want to mention, because like I said, these are quite sort of tech house heavy clubs, one club that is more suitable for, I guess, general music tastes or a more lighter and cheaper night out. I've spoken about it before. This is the Queen of Hoxton. So a lot of people associate the Queen of Hoxton with being a bar or a rooftop terrace, and that is true, but it also is a nightclub. So there's actually 3 levels, and on those 3 levels there's, again, I guess, 3 different ways of going out. So we have the beautiful rooftop on the roof, then we have a kind of standard bar, hang out, chill out, creative zone on the ground floor, and then we have a proper nightclub in the basement. And this nightclub plays good music. It's commercial, but it's not too annoying. So there'll be some interesting remixes, there'll be sort of light house music remixes, there'll be maybe a bit more sort of Latin American music, there'll be a bit more, I guess, rap hip hop music, but it's never too extreme, so it's very, very danceable. The crowd is very, very friendly, and again, I think entry is free until maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9. After that it's maybe 7 or 10 pounds. Drinks are affordable for London. The crowd is, you know, just happy to dance really. And I like the kind of mix of going to the basement to dance and then going to the roof to, you know, breathe a little bit, to see the stars and to have a drink. And yeah, it's just really nice to kind of, you know, mix that up. Actually thinking about it, there's probably no stars in London, but you know what I mean. Next one I want to talk about is Village Underground. So this is again quite tech house heavy. It is my personal favorite venue or nightclub in London by far, no question, but that is because I value sound over everything else. That sounds really pretentious, but I hope you know what I mean. So the way Village Underground is designed just kind of transports the sound of bass and house music in a way that I haven't really seen it before, and that makes it my favorite nightclub. It's very, very much about the music. If you want me to recommend a party, I recommend going to Fuse every other Sunday. It's actually a day party, so you can still go to work the next day, unless you drink too much, of course. But yeah, it's a great day party, and the sound is fantastic, and it really focuses on the music, so people don't really talk and annoy you, people just dance and have a good time. And yeah, it's classy, it's world class for sound, and it's not as big as Fabric as well, so you don't really get lost. There's just one room. Forgot to mention actually, if you're going to Fabric, try and make sure to bring someone who's been before, because it can get a little bit confusing, and you don't have that in Village Underground. It's quite small, and again, it's... And the next one I want to mention is a good choice for you as well, I guess, if you're not really too much into the tech house scene, but you want to have a bit of a variety of events. And that is Coco. So Coco in Camden or Mornington Crescent is probably, in terms of venue design, the most beautiful out of all of these, because essentially it is a very, very old, I believe 5 or 3 story high theatre, but it's kind of transformed into a music venue. You can find all sorts of concerts or gigs or DJ sets there, everything from kind of like jazzy music to proper tech house events to pop music events to potentially classical and rock concerts. There's probably something on almost every night, so have a look at their websites. All links are down below, by the way. And yeah, it's just the most impressive in terms of, I guess, venue design. If you're outside in the smoking area, for example, you're kind of overlooking the whole of Camden and Mornington Crescent, and you'll feel a bit like this is, you know, this is my area, which feels really nice. So it's just very, very beautiful. And like I said, it's all kind of in red, and the sound again is very good. And yeah, the events are quite varied, so have a look. But I would very, very much recommend a night out in Coco when you're in London, because you probably never forget it, and you can take loads of pictures of this beautiful venue. And it's quite a classic as well. It must have been around for many years. I actually don't know for how long, but yeah, it's a classic venue to go to take loads of pictures, and yeah, that's probably my second favorite club in London. So these are kind of the clubs that I would recommend, or the nights out and parties that I would recommend for you to have a look. All the links are below. I also wanted to not warn you, but tell you about 2 clubs or venues that I don't really enjoy. Hopefully, you know, if you have a different opinion, leave them down below. But there are 2 venues I just didn't have such a good time. One of them is Egg. It's probably quite famous, so you probably have heard of it. And the other one is XOYO. XOYO is in Old Street and Egg is in King's Cross. The reason why I didn't have such a good time is, again, the sound wasn't the best in both of them. So sound is just very important. But then also it's very hot and it has very low ceilings, and you kind of don't really have enough space to dance. And that's it about XOYO. So it's just quite small, low ceiling, and sort of difficult sound, quite loud. So I didn't really enjoy it, and it was quite pricey, so I wasn't really sure. And the other one, Egg is very famous, and it's been around for a long time, and they actually have a beautiful outside bit, which I've had good times at. But if you go inside, and yeah, again, it's hot, and also the people aren't nice. so I've never really been there surrounded by a good crowd that is there for music. I've really only seen quite a lot of people who are either there to kind of pick up girls, so quite sleazy guys, very young kind of crowds who's, you know, trying again to pick up girls. There's quite a lot of, I guess, drug taking around as well. You notice because the people around you aren't cool, they're just sweating and they're falling, and that's kind of my impression of it. So I just want to warn you, of course, if there's a DJ that you want to see, you know, please do go, but do be careful. And yeah, I think that's it. That's a video on my kind of favorite and least favorite nightclubs. If you want me to do one on bars, nights out in general, you know, events, anything like that, please let me know, because I can talk about this for hours and I have so many different ideas about other nights out, how you can plan them if you don't really just want to go dance. So leave those comments down below, and thanks for watching. I am very happy that you're watching my videos. Please follow me on Instagram, and of course please do subscribe to my channel. I do try to make new videos every week, and I think that's really it. Yeah, let me know below, like I said, if you want me to make another video about bars or events or anything like that. Follow my profile on Hype if you want to kind of get daily updates about things to do in London as well. And that's it. Goodbye.